Thank you very much. It's good to see so many people out today, so many people engaged. You know, it's an honor for me to be here today. I work for a living just like you do. I was in the clinic this morning until noon. Actually ran over a little bit. First 3 dogs I saw this morning tried to bite me. I think they were Democrat dogs. Then we kind of got to hitting off a little better with some of the rest. But, you know, it's extremely important that folks like you and I, we work hard every day. We try to provide for our families. We want to do what's right in this country. We want to be fair by our fellow man. But people like you and I that work hard, keep our heads down, pay the bills, have not been involved in the past as much as we should be. I made that decision a couple years ago to get involved because I wasn't happy with how things were going with small business, with how the government was making a bigger and bigger intrusion in our daily lives, what we're trying to do, and how they're regulating us at more and more out of business. So I got involved and got elected as your representative. I'm trying to move up just a little bit to do a little more for our area. I definitely think it is time each and every one of us lift our head up from the hard work, get involved, really get engaged, and don't just do it on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Rolla, Missouri. Do it every day. Talk to your friends and your neighbors. Be educated on the issues. Be able to respond to what the federal government or even state government is doing. You can no longer just trust your elected officials to do what's right for you. You have to make sure that they're held accountable, that they're transparent, and that we as elected officials are doing what is helping you, not what is hindering you. In no way, shape, or form should government ever be putting a stone in the path of your success. And I feel that's where we've gotten. So that's led to us getting out, pushing back, taking back states' rights and individual rights and freedoms. We do not want this government to continue to infringe upon our personal freedoms as they have in the last 420 days.
Yeah! Woo!
You know, as a very wealthy nation in the past, we have taken on roles that many times in the past our churches and many of our service organizations done, and we had the money to do that. But as more and more government dollars are funneled to programs that we can no longer afford, we have to ask our churches, our individuals to get involved to help out our neighbors that need a little help. I told people when I ran the first time, my allegiance is number 1 to God, number 2 my country, number 3 my family, my career, and somewhere amongst all that makes me what I am as far as a political person. I'm not a politician, don't desire to be a career politician by any sense of the imagination. I got and put myself up in this ruckus to try to make a difference, to try to give you a voice. Anything I've been elected to is not my seat, it's the people's seat. I will always keep it that way.
Hear, hear.
You know, I've had the opportunity in Jefferson City to meet some super, super nice people that I truly do admire and respect. And I've met some others I didn't quite admire and respect so much. But some of those guys will be talking here today. They're fantastic. They are what I call true core Christian values. And that is what I want to push forward. That's what I want to stand for. It's what I want to fight for. The folks out here do not need government to help us. We just need government to leave us alone, let us do what we're good at.
Yeah.
The pledge that I signed today, the Missouri Sovereignty Project, is very, very important to each and every one of us. I think every person running for office or any elected official that is not willing to sign this should be sent home. So I have a few witnesses today. And I'm going to read you just a few things that enumerates what I had pledged to you that I will do. And it starts out, I therefore affirm and promise as a public official of the great state of Missouri that I will oppose all efforts by the federal government to act beyond its constitutional authority.
Yeah.
I affirm that I will introduce, sponsor, and/or support measures, laws, Missouri constitutional amendments, and/or resolutions designed to adhere to the U.S. Constitution's 10th Amendment and preserve to their fullest extent the powers of Missouri citizens. I affirm that I will introduce, sponsor, and support legislation that nullifies actions, decisions of all three branches of the federal government that exceed the U.S. constitutional authority. I will introduce, sponsor, and support legislation that provides such relief as it is necessary and proper to provide fair redress to the citizens of Missouri in response to actions by the federal government that exceed its constitutional authority. That's a biggie. And I affirm that I will introduce, sponsor, and support legislation that refuses federal funding made on the condition that Missouri comply with federal mandates not authorized with the U.S. Constitution. That's a big issue. Last week we passed House Joint Resolution 88. Representative Nieves will be speaking to you later. He told us in caucus that this was not Missouri Sovereignty light, and it's not. So I encourage you to read that resolution. It was a vote along party lines. We passed it in the House. We hope the Senate will take it up because it takes a hard stance for individual rights and freedoms of people just like you and I that work and pay the bills. I thank you so much for being out. Stay engaged. Keep fighting the fight. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, Dan Brown, Dr. Dan here looks good. But wouldn't he look better this way? All right, now, I want you to stand here just for another minute because, you mentioned the non-constitutionality of something that's very important to this crowd. And I kind of want to send a message up to D.C. and to all of our people in government. And I want to hear it loud and clear. Are you in favor of our Attorney General suing the government, the federal government, to prevent them from making health care a mandated purchase in the state of Missouri? To be fair, all opposed? I hear crickets. One gal in the back had her hand up. All right, thank you, Dr. Dan Brown. Either I got shorter or this microphone grew.